Lights Out is a supernatural horror film directed by David F. Sandberg in his directorial debut, and it's based on the screenplay by Sandberg's on his 2013 short film, also titled Lights Out, and it follows a woman who must protect her young half brother against a spirit from her family's past that kills its victims in the dark, which is such a sort of a unique concept, you know. But anyway, yeah, when this movie came out in 2016. I did not see this movie in theaters. I think I might have heard of it. I definitely heard of it, but I did not see this movie in theaters. I didn't know what it was, and I wasn't really, back in 2016, I just the only thing I cared about was Marvel, DC, superhero, comic book films. I wasn't really looking into like any other genres. And so this one like slipped under my radar, but I have seen a lot of reviews, and a lot of critics really enjoyed this movie. They love they praised, the critics praised its directions by David Sandberg. He knocked it out of the park when it comes to this being his very first film that he's ever directed. The screenplay is great. The performances given by the actors, especially Teresa Palmer. This and also, yes, of course, the cinematography and the score for this movie, both of them were excellent. With some, a little bit of the cinematography because of the way this movie is shot and the way the camera like works around, if that makes any sense. But let's break this down. All right, so it's been a while since I've done like a YouTube video. I've been mostly recently have been posting a lot of YouTube shorts on my YouTube channel because they're way quicker and way easier for me to do. They're less time consuming, and yet they gain a lot of likes and attentions and views, which is great. Which is very helpful for my YouTube channel, which is why I've been doing a lot of YouTube shorts recently. But I do want to go back into, doing actual YouTube videos, like and like this one. So because Until Dawn is coming out this weekend, I was like, why not watch and review all of David F. Sandberg's movies, I've already seen Annabelle Creation. I did not review Annabelle Creation, but I have seen Annabelle Creation. I've seen Shazam Fury of the Gods. So, and then, Until Dawn. This and so I'm gonna have to rewatch Annabelle Creation. Let's just say I really enjoyed Annabelle Creation. It's 100% a step up from the first original one, which was not really that good in my opinion. But anyway, yeah, Lights Out. Um, let's break down the positives. I really enjoyed Teresa Palmer and Gabriel Bateman's their performance in this film. They do such a great job. They do so well in the lead roles as the unfortunate kids with a crazy mother, who is played by Maria Bello. The movie's novel concept is a creature that can only be seen and manifest in the dark. Turn a torch on and it disappears, and that's such a cool, that's such a cool concept. And the way, like I said, when it comes to the cinematography with the jump scares and the imagery, the shadowy imagery of this dark entity, this dark spirit, captures it. David was able to capture it perfectly. It does stay. I haven't seen the short film, but I've heard that people who have seen the short film said that yes, it is faithful to the short film. Um, so that which is good, and I appreciate that. It's good to hear that they stayed faithful to the short film. And naturally, the movie spends a good amount of time in the dark, using the unsettling tone to its advantage. The use of lighting is one of the movie's strong points, and allows for some creative and occasionally funny uses of torch, candles, and even car headlights. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. This technique generates a lot of the scares and atmosphere, and gives the movie its title. It really lives up to the title because of that, because of the way they were able to be creative with the cinematography and the lighting. But anyway, the supernatural horror is very effective and does elicit a genuine threat to the characters, which is a nice touch. And Maria, who plays like the crazy mother, in particular, does well to ramp up the threat levels, and makes you wonder who is going to make it out of here alive. The backstory of Diane, who is like the main antagonist, this evil supernatural entity, the central spiritual antagonistic of the film, is emotional yet interesting. And Benjamin Walfish. I'm sorry if I mispronounced. I apologize if I mispronounced his last name, but his score, like his music, was so eerie, and it was just enough to fit, in the film. And when it comes to David F. Sandberg's, this being his very first, film that he's ever directed, like this is his directorial debut, I believe 100% he knocked it out of the park. And he did it again. He did it again with Annabelle Creation. We'll get into that later. Do I have any complaints with the film? I mean, I guess with one issue is that it's not really an issue, but more of a nitpick. One problem that I have with this film is with the movie is that apart from its main concept, the movie doesn't really add much else, except with cliches like the mandatory dark basement. Oh, of course it's a horror movie. Of course there's some dark fucking basement. There's a dark basement scene, of course. But it's such a cliche. It's such a cliche. Don't go down the basement. But anyway, that's just a nitpick. It's not a huge. It's really not a big deal. But yeah, that's all I have to say for Lights Out. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking time to listen to my review, my thoughts. Please like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that would be helping me out a lot. It would allow me to keep making videos such as these, which is something I really do enjoy, and I do appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.